Sorry about it. Hey, does anybody have something dry I can dry my glasses with? No, a scarf.
Here.
Yeah. Oh, there. All right, so is everybody all right?
I'm going to watch it on film. There we go.
All right, hang on 1 second. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here to end a satanic baby eater of the world. How's that for a start? We can start with a prayer. Lord, you know what's going on here, and you desire only good and love, and so we ask that everything here be, all the evil be exposed, and that it be ended. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. The statement, you just want me to read this?
Yes, please. You can leave the names out. So this bit, leave the names out, and then...
Witness statement by Ella Draper, March 21st, 2015. I, Ella Draper, mother of Alyssa Gariva Dearman, age 9, and Gabriel Gariv Dearman, age 8, hereby give this witness statement under the Criminal Law Act of 1967 and the public interests in matters of great public importance to expose serious crimes of satanic ritual abuse, including rape, sodomy, murder, and cannibalism committed against infants and children in churches and primary schools in the UK. And I'm just going to introduce, that's number 1. We're going on to number 2, but before we go to number 2, I have to say former FBI agent Ted Gunderson has said there's 4 million Satanists in the United States, 50 to 60,000 human sacrifices a year. We all know it goes on. So if we say it couldn't be in my town, it couldn't be in this church, you know what? 4 million Satanists, 50 to 60,000 human sacrifices. Yeah, it exists. Former head FBI Ted Gunderson, you can look him up. Number 2, I am a graduate in MA History of Art at Moscow State University. Number 3, I have an older son from a previous marriage, James, who has a good relationship with his dad, Abraham, my younger children, and myself. Number 4, Alyssa and Gabriel have made allegations of rape and sodomy against their dad, Ricky Dearman, age 46, from whom I am separated since 2007 due to his serious domestic violence and assault on my life. I've been living with my partner, Abraham Christie, since June 2014, who is comparatively much more loving and understanding towards the children than their dad. Number 5, to my understanding, the father had no contacts with the children apart from 3 times in June and July 2014 until they informed me that their dad rapes and sodomizes them at the school with plastic willies, which is right behind that building. Daily, and witnesses other teachers and head teachers to do the same to them during school times. After they made allegations against their dad, teachers, police, social workers, they were kidnapped and forced into foster care against my wishes without any credible evidence of harm by me or Abraham against them or any court order, and after a proper due process in law. Number 6, Alyssa and Gabriel have been interviewed by Abraham and me on many occasions in August 2014, giving full details of rape, sodomy, murders, cannibalism, and satanic rituals at the Christchurch Primary School. That's the end of number 4.
You mentioned the 2 names there.
Oh, the individuals involved: Reverend Paul Conrad of Christchurch, head teacher Mrs. Forstyke.
Oh,
there's a lot of teachers. Yeah, you know what? These teachers, they're going to be they're online. You can go to HampsteadChristchurch.com and see the full text of this. Yeah. Going over to, okay, we're reading more teachers. All these names are at HampsteadChristchurch.com. So we're going to skip over this whole page here, okay? You can see them. Now, I will say that I attended that church service last Sunday, and I would be hard. I sat through the whole thing, you know, got on my knees, said the Our Father, heard them say the creed, and it would be hard for me to believe that every single person in there is a baby eater. But we just know, just like the CIA, right? Not everybody in the CIA is good. Not everybody's bad. It's that way in the FBI, it's that way in Anonymous. Anonymous is infiltrated. You got the government infiltrating everything. And I can't believe everybody in there's a baby eater, but I cannot say that I don't believe what the children say. I do believe what the children say, and this isn't going to be about me, but there's really two facts here. Number one, judge closed the case as fantasy, while the medical report says there's sexual assault. Judge, you cannot close a case as fantasy when the medical reports say sexual assault. You start there, and then you go on. Period. That's it. You can't close a case when the medical report says sexual assault. Going on. Also social worker. Okay, going on. We're skipping all the names. HampsteadChristchurch.com. You can get all the whole list. The children have stated that the sacrifices are performed in the church building. I believe the children, when they describe how infants are frequently delivered to school, they are raped, tortured, injected in the neck, and their necks are cut with a sharp knife held by them with their dad's hands over the top. I believe my children when they say that the infant's neck is cut and the infant body is turned upside down to collect the blood into a bowl. The blood is poured into a silver goblet and drunk by their dad.
The infants then passed to them. To their dad, then passed to them. Sorry.
Oh, drunk by their dad and passed to them. They are vegans, and then passed to the rest of the children. The infants are being disemboweled. The infant's body is then cooked in the cooker and eaten by the children of 20 special families. Mr. Dearman, teachers, parents for lunch. The children describe how their dad sometimes eats infants twice a day. And I'm going on number 7, but if you've seen these kids' videos have 4 million views for good reason. Nobody can be acting like those kids. I mean, no way are those kids acting lying. Nobody could do that. Not those kids. They're not lying. You got to believe those kids, and you got to believe the medical report. You got to open this case up. And for anybody to say, "I'm sorry," we need 100,000 signatures in order to investigate this case that the judge closed as fantasy when the doctor's report said sexual assault. You don't need 100,000 signatures. You need people coming out here and saying, "No."
Yes.
No way.
That's true.
Number 7. From the names and details provided, I have no doubts that both my children are telling the truth about the rape, sodomy, murders, and cannibalism at the Christ Church in Hampstead Square, Christ Church Primary School, and at least 7 other primary schools nearby. I also believe that my children have suffered nightmares. By the way, the police medical report says that the children always are dreaming that their dad is killing them. It's in the medical report. You can see that at HampsteadChristchurch.com. Children having suffered nightmares, physical, physiological, and mental torture by many public servants, including in the trafficking of infants into the UK for human sacrifice and organ harvesting. And we know that's a big business, organ harvesting. Number 8, I believe my children are telling the truth when they describe that their father is the leader of a satanic cult, which traffics infants from all over the world. We know that happens. I also believe that many parents have fostered children and abused the children at the school as part of a satanic cult. I believe this cult has been going on for many decades. Yeah, we know that. I also believe that the public servants are doing their utmost to conceal the crimes for fear of losing their jobs and lucrative incomes. Number 9, I'm very disappointed that the police have failed to do any investigation into the rapes and sodomy by their dad, teachers, and head teachers. By the way, if you go to Ricky Dearman's old website, rickydearman.com, you'll see the nudes. Remember, he had his whole section devoted to nudes.
Go on Vimeo as well.
It goes on Vimeo, yeah. Okay. And other public servants as well as private individuals, despite forensic medical evidence that their allegations are true. Yeah, the physician in the judgment, number 130 in the judgment of Justice Palfrey. Number 130 says the final report of the physician is that these allegations need to be taken very seriously. But she left it up to the court. What did the court do?
Civil court.
And the court just said, no.
No, this is a criminal matter in a civil court.
Number 10, I believe that Abraham had conducted excellent interviews with the children to encourage them to talk about their painful experiences so as to put a stop to these crimes against infants and children by public officials when compared to the police interviews. Number 11, I believe that the police were involved in a cover-up. My God, that is cover-up after cover-up after cover-up. You read the newspapers, you go to HampsteadChristchurch.com, and you will see, because I have put down the historical coverage of all the cover-ups. Nobody has to say there's no cover-up going on. I believe that the police were involved in a cover-up. The police interviewed the children without my presence, refusing me the opportunity to be there whilst the police kept them up quite late and did not allow the children to give names of the parents and teachers raping the children or the names of the children who were raped. That's another thing. Those secret courts, those family courts, no way.
Secret courts.
My God, we don't need secrecy and whispering and cover-ups. We need truth.
Not with children.
Yeah, number 12, I wish to rely on this, on the video interviews of the children by Abraham, which were confirmed in the police interviews on the 5th and 11th September of 2014. Okay, you know what? It's not that this is not important, because it is important, but you know what? It can be found at HampsteadChristchurch.com. I just want to say, reading the rest of this, darling, is I'm just going to read the last thing. I seek assistance of the various British and Russian authorities and embassies in
number 18 is the start of the remedy. Sorry, it's got to be read. 18.
Okay, thank you. Okay, skipping on to number 18. I seek the urgent return of my children to my care, for which I have a care order in my favor. And remember, all these my's is not me, okay? It is speaking for somebody else, Ella Draper, the mother. I seek assistance of the various British and Russian authorities and embassies in the repatriation of my children to Russia to live with me and my parents. 20, I seek court protection for the witnesses from kidnap by Mr. Dearman's cult members and his agents. I seek court protection for the witnesses from kidnap. Who's she talking about? The kids?
The fake police that came to her home, 9 of them, in plain clothes, and they're just pretending to be police, and they're not. They're agents of Mr. Dearman. There is a lot of people impersonating police that belong to the cult. Public service servants impersonating social workers, etc., to kidnap babies.
I seek the arrest and prosecution of all who perverted the course of justice, including Judge Paul Fleet for treason. I seek the shutting down of the Barnett and Camden councils for the active participation and cover-up of satanic rituals in their schools, nurseries, churches, leisure centers, office buildings, involving hundreds of their staff and agents. As a matter of fact, Sabine, if you really want to follow somebody, Sabine McNeil, her last name McNeill, she has a blog, and she's on Twitter. Follow Sabine on Twitter.
Whistleblowerkids.com, I think it is.
You can go to whistleblowerkids, .com is going to be the United States, but there's another one for the UK. But anyway, but rather than getting lost in all, if you go to HampsteadChristchurch.com, you'll find the links to Sabine's website. And so that's a big name here, Sabine McNeil. If you want to follow anybody, follow Sabine.
Just read these last 2 paragraphs as well.
Okay.
Very important.
All right. So, having thanked you for all the time, we're going to wrap this up. Pursuant to the Geneva Convention 1930, a number of corporate governments, such as the United Kingdom, and therefore all companies, corporations registered thereunder above named, are operating illegally due to their bankruptcy and insolvency, including the employees and agents. This is evidenced by the Gold Standard Act Amendment Bill 227, 21 September 1931, and the subsequent Uniform Commercial Code, UCC International Law C. Okay, go to Cornell. This is, you know what? This is a little technical for everybody here, but I want to just say that thank you for the opportunity to share. Thank you for listening. Is there any? I do want to say I met somebody here who's quite special from the government, and they say they are aware, and they don't like it. So don't go blame everything on the police. Don't go blame everything on, you know, this. You want to put
Can I add a piece to that? As a
Yeah.
former police officer of 20 years, I had the opportunity of actually sitting with a mother, in this case for 3 hours. I can absolutely tell you with my experience of interrogation over a 20-year period, as a former detective sergeant, she was speaking 110% truth. I know there's been no investigation, been no proper police statement taken from this woman because of the way she's been harassed. I also know that we have child abuse in this country to epidemic levels. I was on Saturday sitting with a former MP from the Home Office who categorically stated to me that we've got now about 1 in 10 children being abused. And we have a police force that's in denial, and it's not you, I know that. It comes from senior levels. We now need to recognise this and start acting on it to change the ethos of what is wrecking so many children's lives and costing so much deprivation and degradation to the way we live on this planet. I'm really putting that out there clearly. Everybody knows it. We've got to start acting on it, and a great time to do that is at this election. We've got an election coming up, and we need on the hustings to ask what our MPs are doing about this. A lot of it is underpinned by the ridiculous situation that we've got with debt and the way our financial system actually constrains people from talking. And that certainly needs looking at. But just think, we have a former Home Office minister who has said that we've got 1 in 10 children being abused, and it's going on now. It's not historic, it was historic, but it's happening now. And Ella and those 2 children's case is not unique. I sat with her for 3 hours, and what she shared was 100% truth. And I know no police officers have properly investigated this. It's incumbent upon you, Sergeant, to make sure that that investigation starts fully and fairly. And I'm not looking to blame. What I'm looking for is a time when we can turn our backs on this sort of happening, that we can keep our children safe and we can live a life where they can flourish and not be suppressed. I was with someone who was abused by a Catholic priest. It massively, massively changes people's lives. And there are people around me here who have been abused. It hugely changes lives. So if we can't look after our children in this society, we're doing a pretty poor job.
Absolutely.
So let's change it. You know, I know you're a good man, and there's good men around here and good women around here who want to see that happen. So let's make it happen.
Tell us again your former title
I was a detective sergeant in Sussex Police.
and your name again.
It's Ray Savage.
Thanks.
AKA Hero.
Sergeant, there's one other fact. It's known that one department of the Metropolitan Police has threatened another department in the Metropolitan Police about this cover-up. And it's generally believed that the Satanic Abuse Unit has been threatening another department of the Metropolitan Police. So it's inside the Metropolitan Police as well.
Okay. I will certainly say it for with the statement, obviously, which is.
It's here.
That's the UK statement.
Yeah, I'll just take my paperwork out. Sorry, the bag's got a bit wet underneath, so I wouldn't put it on your lap.
Oh no, it's fine.
Sorry about that. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks very much.